lobby. Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning.
You have one ticket, parking in a tow zone on Empire Street.
Not guilty with an explanation.
What is it?
Well, at that time, my now ex-boyfriend would drop me off at work, so on that day I did not have the car, nor did I have any knowledge of that ticket.
He was driving the car?
Right. And I never knew the ticket existed.
Whose car is it? Do you drive the car, or is he driving now?
Well, he would drop me off at work.
I know, but whose car is it?
It's my car.
It's your car?
Yes.
When are you having the baby?
January 23rd.
Do you know if it's a boy or a girl?
A girl.
Oh, yeah? Do you pick a name yet?
Sarah.
Sarah? Is that after one of your relatives, or you just like that name?
I like the name.
Well, they give you a $50 ticket and a $100 penalty here. It's like $150. And unfortunately, you know, that if the car's registered in your name and someone's using the car with your permission, that, you know, that you are responsible for that ticket. However, in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to dismiss the case, and that's going to be a gift to Sarah.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's maybe your first gift.
Thank you.
Give that to the clerk. Go back to the clerk's office. Elizabeth Rabinowitz. Elizabeth, you have one ticket, overtime parking on Benefit Street. How do you plead?
I plead not guilty with an explanation. I used to live there, and the car was there when they first saw it. It was there the second time, and at no point was I parked there for 2 hours. I actually have, it was the day that the man in the iron mask opened. My daughter sent me to Seekonk to get tickets, to make sure she had tickets. So I was in Seekonk. In the intervening time, I was also at the house I was purchasing that had gutter problems, so I was there for about 20 minutes in the morning, and then I came back and I was there for probably half an hour at the time I got the ticket. And I got really frustrated. I paid a lot of tickets just like this, and this time I said, no.
You're going to fight the system.
Just no this time.
So did you tell people you're going to come down and fight? You're going to fight this ticket?
No, actually my husband and my daughter said, Mom, you are just ridiculous. And it's like, but I paid so many of these. I'd rather give the $10 to charity.
Which charity?
I want to get at Bread and Circus. They have gifts for kids who need Christmas gifts.
Okay, you do that. The case is dismissed.
Thank you.
All right. Valerie Robert.
Good morning.
Well, you're charged with parking on the sidewalk?
Yes.
How do you plead?
Guilty with an explanation.
What is it?
Well, I didn't plan to come here this morning, and I had battery problems.
Battery?
Right, and I have the slip at home where I called Allstate, and they came to jump me. I ended up staying at that place till 2 in the morning because the police called them. They had to go to the police and come back and jump me. And in my haste, I didn't bring you the slip. It told it's just about an hour's time between
For the repairs?
The ticket and when Allstate came, but I didn't get out of there till about 2 in the morning. And I have the check all made out here for 11/4, but it was the principle of the matter. I thought I would come down here and explain it to you. And I can send a photocopy or whatever you need of this slip from Allstate. So I just neglected it this morning. Thought of it on 95.
Car was disabled?
Pardon?
The
Yes, it was.
Car was disabled.
It was. I had to get a jump from Allstate. And then I ended up staying there because right when they're just adjacent to doing the job, the police called them and they had to go and leave me. So there was another hour I spent waiting inside the complex. I didn't get out of there till 2 in the morning.
Where is this complex?
The Swingers on Pine Street.
Oh, you must have been drinking.
No, I don't drink.
All right.
I don't even put the band on when I go.
Oh, so
No.
you wasn't drinking?
No, I don't drink.
All right. Case is dismissed.
Thank you.
Leslie Frost. Good morning, Mr. Frost. You're Mr. Frost, I presume.
Yes, Your Honor. John Frost. Leslie is my wife. I'm actually here on behalf of my daughter, Gretchen. She was the one that got the parking ticket.
Is she a student up here?
She was at School 1 at the time, 17. She's now living in Burlington. At the time she got the ticket, she did plead not guilty, Your Honor, and we offered to pay the ticket for her. And she reminded us that we encouraged her to plead not guilty when she got the ticket. And I'm here to explain.
What is the explanation?
After school, she was picking up friends, and she admits that she was in a bus stop area. She was in the car when a ticketing person came up, approached her, and started to ticket the vehicle. And this is the explanation from my daughter, Your Honor. Her appearance leaves a lot to be desired.
Whose appearance? The maid or
no,
your
my daughter.
Oh, your daughter's?
Yes, she's a throwback flower child of the 60s. And she was 17 at the time. I asked her if she copped an attitude, and she assured me that she did not. And she felt that it was her appearance that was the result of the ticket. And we talked about this when she got the ticket and explained it to her, and she felt that she was ready to move the vehicle and they wouldn't let her. And we encouraged her to plead not guilty with the understanding that she may have to appear. She was not able to be here today. She's in Burlington, and we were going to pay the fine for her, but she asked me if I could come down and plead her case.
Well, let me tell you how I view this. The question is, was she parked in a bus stop? The answer is yes. Next question is a question of reasonable enforcement. I'll take judicial notice of the fact that 99% of the time, if a person is seated in their motor vehicle and a police officer comes up, if they would go up to the person and say, move the car, you're in a bus stop or I'll have to tag you. They do that. I'll take notice of that because I know that we all know that to be true. So there were two other issues, just to tell you the thought process that goes into handling these cases in my brain. There are two other issues that have to be resolved in my mind. Number one is whether or not the representation from you on your daughter's behalf is true. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. I'll accept that as being true. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. And the fact that you were very candid and told me about your daughter's appearance, I can see this happening. I can see the police officer looking at some young girl and saying, well, I'm not sure what they'd say, but coming to a conclusion that I'm not going to give this person a break for whatever reason. Now, if I go down that route, then I have no choice but to dismiss the ticket because I don't think that's fair that you would discriminate against somebody because of their appearance. If there was somebody sitting there who was looked like you with a jacket and a tie on, clean shaven, you know, designer glasses. Say, well,
looks a lot like you, Your Honor.
Looks like a fine gentleman. We'll give him a break. So I'm going to come to the conclusion that I think this was at 12:30 in the morning. Oh, I debated 12:30 in the afternoon. I beg your pardon. 12:30 in the afternoon. So it would have been just as easy for the officer to ask the girl to move the car. I believe she was in the car. I think the cop should have given her an opportunity to move the car. The only other alternative is to bring the cop in and ask the cop, but I'm not going to do that. The case is dismissed.
Thank you, Your Honor.